In considering what I would speak about tonight, I decided that I would tell a very interesting story. As some of you know, or perhaps some of you don't know, my great-great-grandfather went to St. George's many, many years ago. One day this summer, my grandfather told me a story that my great-great-grandfather had told him when he was very young. The story takes place a long time ago, before St. George's existed. It takes place in the infamous Second Garden of Eden. Though some of you might have never heard of the Second Garden of Eden, just believe me, it existed. In fact, it just so happens that the Second Garden of Eden was actually located where St. George's is now, here at the corner of Paradise and Purgatory. Well, just like the first Garden of Eden, there were animals of all shapes, colors, and varieties. Tigers, lions, saiga antelope, Hispaniola and Solenodon, you name it. They were all in that Second Garden of Eden. After having the problems with the first Garden of Eden, God did not really want to cope with overseeing the second garden, so he let the animals govern themselves. Among the animals, there were two who really dominated, two animals whom the other animals feared. One, it just so happens, was the mighty dragon, who breathed fire, was able to fly with its enormous wings, and basically kicked some serious butt. The other fearsome beast, it also just so happens, was the zebra, with its fearsome stripes, horrible hooves, and mediocre speed. To tell you the truth, I really don't understand why the other animals were so scared of the zebra. But my grandfather was getting pretty into telling this story, and I didn't want to interrupt him. But whatever. These two were the most revered beasts in the Second Garden of Eden, and there was an undeniable rivalry between them. One day, the owl, being the wisest of the creatures, had the idea that the zebras and the dragons should have a competition to determine which was superior. A strange coincidence is that this Saturday is the anniversary of the day that they decided to hold the contest. Anyway, the owl suggested they hold 6 contests, all of which would involve speed, endurance, strength, and intelligence. The dragon dominated the first 3 events without even breaking a sweat, but the zebra won the final 3 through his trickery and deceit. You might ask yourself, how did the zebra manage to defeat the mighty dragon in these events? Well, Miss Drysdale had convinced the dragon to give 8 pints of blood the day before the contests, and the dragon was thus very weak. Anyway, this tie did not satisfy anyone, so they devised one final contest to break it, and determine once and for all who was the greater beast, the zebra or the dragon. The owl determined that they would have to battle for the right to claim the title of Master of the Beasts. All the animals gathered round to watch this battle, and every different beast had his own idea of who he thought would win. Well, the battle lasted for hours and was bloody and vicious. Onlookers could hardly bear to watch these fierce competitors go at it. Suddenly, though, the smoke cleared, and one beast stood alone. We all know that the great motto of sports is that it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And this is true. I mean, who really cares who the victor is? Is that really important? As long as everyone gave it his or her all, does it matter? Does it matter which beast stands alone in the final battle? Let me leave you with one last image. After the fight was long over, and the battle long since forgotten, somewhere sat a dragon, lounging around in his robe and slippers, a confident, satisfied grin upon his face. He sat in front of his fireplace, above which was mounted the head of the zebra. Keep this image in your mind during the anniversary of that very first contest in the Second Garden of Eden.